I'm going to call to order the 2506 meeting of the Darien Police Commission, acceptance of minutes of March 5th. A motion?
Motion to accept.
Second?
Second.
Questions, comments? All those, hearing none, all those in favor? Correspondence, Chief?
Couple items. We had a resident from Tulip Tree Lane give us a donation to our gift fund. That resident has made donations the last couple of years and we're very appreciative. And thank you letter was sent back to his family. So that was for his appreciation for our year-round service. Also, Lieutenant White received a resident email regarding Officer Flood, Officer Harwood Smith, and Officer Lasser, who responded to the residents on Wakemore Street. I guess there was a serious medical issue with a family member there, and he was very appreciative of those three officers. How grateful, how professional they were throughout the incident, and he was grateful for our assistance during a challenging time for his family. So that was nice that he reached out to the supervisors. St. Patrick's Day has come and gone since our last meeting, and Lieutenant Derek Mulcahy's mother delivered her famous Irish soda bread and treats on St. Patrick's Day. She hails from Ireland, so we're always appreciative of that. And then, as always, our good friend Susan Schultz, former editor of the Darien Times, prepared a huge St. Patrick's Day lunch for the entire staff here. And we're very appreciative. We met with her, and we once again sent a thank you note, so thank you to her. And that is it for correspondence.
Talking about thank yous, Chief, if you don't mind me interrupting, I understand 30 years of service for you.
Yeah, well, that came and gone. I guess the reason that went out the
is that
other day
right?
was because it was the
Second anniversary of our
the chief. Yeah,
Well, thank you anyway.
That
Congratulations.
that's fast.
Chief started on April Fool's Day, if that means anything.
And if you remember, we had an earthquake that week. We had a crazy storm, and
The fire
something
on
else.
95, didn't the bridge come down?
oh, that's right.
I remember the
That was
earthquake,
2
too,
days after.
yeah.
Yeah, that was all at my first week.
Good things come in threes. It's been smooth
Yeah,
sailing
there you
since.
10 more to go, Chief.
Department activity.
Okay, this is from March 6th to April 2nd, prepared by Lieutenant White. On March 11th, a Stamford, Connecticut man was arrested for larceny charges after the unauthorized use of a credit card for transactions made at Rings End Lumber in October of 2025. On March 18th, officers responded to a Stony Brook Road residence for the report of an attempted motor vehicle burglary from a garage while the owner was seated in the vehicle. The suspect fled the scene, and this is an active investigation. On March 19th, a New York man was arrested for multiple charges related to identity theft and larceny from an incident that occurred in October of 2023, where he deposited a stolen check from a Darien resident. On March 22nd, patrol officers stopped a vehicle that was stolen out of Miramar, Florida. The operator, a male from New Haven, was arrested on scene for larceny of a motor vehicle. Statistics during that time period, we had 3 domestic disturbances, 1 domestic violence incident, 1 driving under the influence, 7 motor vehicle burglaries, 4 unlocked, 3 locked but no forced entry, no stolen motor vehicles, 17 motor vehicle accidents, 5 with injuries, and 6 on private property. There were 365 traffic stops and 1,190 calls for service. Some notable incidents, things that our department did. On March 12th, the DPD personnel played in a charity basketball game against the Board of Education faculty at Darien High School. The event raised over $7,300 for Special Olympics of Connecticut and muscular dystrophy research. On March 14th, Traffic Officer Tim Budd represented Darien PD in the St. Patrick's Day Parade held in Stamford. On April 1st, a joint traffic enforcement effort was conducted in Darien with New Canaan, Norwalk, Westport, and Wilton police departments, resulting in 60 traffic stops over the course of a 5-hour period. And today, our 3 new probationary officers started at the Stamford Police Academy, and so we wish them luck.
Captain, just two questions, or one question and a comment.
Sure.
The traffic stop on the 22nd, did that come out as a flock kit or was that a routine traffic?
It No, that was one of our officers, happened to drive by a vehicle and either, I don't know the exact, if it hit off the vehicle LPR or he just ran the plate, but yeah, he drove by, it popped up a short time later, drove back through and ended up catching the person.
Yeah, and I just want to make a comment that charity basketball game, both the chief and I went, were shocked that
Yeah, it was quite the event.
it was sold out, like literally, hanging from the rafters, and what a great event it was.
I think it's going to be a regular annual community event. The turnout was amazing. When I arrived on campus there, I said to myself, this can't be the only event that's going on. It was tough to find a parking space, and the line was out the door for people buying tickets, so it was real impressive, run well.
Very cool.
I think everybody had a good time, and I think our guys are going to need to train a little bit harder for next year. But
We need to recruit taller officers.
our height was there, I think our stamina and endurance was not. But everybody had a lot of fun, so thanks to officers who played in the game there for their efforts and their preparation for the event.
And Kevin, we've done the joint traffic enforcement before. Is that going to be more routine, do you think, or is that
Yeah, so
something
I-
we're still like evaluating?
Right, no, it's been going on for a while now, we just changed locations, different towns, so this was our turn every few months, I think it'll come back around.
Keep doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's great.
Well, on that topic, as you can see, the number of traffic stops that we've conducted over the last month that's a large number. So our officers are out there looking for distracted drivers and people that are speeding and committing other violations, and they're taking all the necessary enforcement that we need to keep our roads safer. So it's a constant effort, but the team on the patrol division and the traffic division are doing a great job. One other thing I'd like to add, today is Autism Awareness Day, and as the commission has in the past, allowed the officers to wear the specialty Autism Awareness patch, Darien Police patch. So that began on April 1st, but today is the actual Autism Awareness Day. So you see our officers out there throughout the month of April wearing a patch that looks a little bit different, but it's just to recognize the autism awareness.
Great.
I believe we have a magnet of the patch on our
On our
cars
vehicles
yeah.
as well, yep.
Okay, public comment, I see nobody here from the public, so I will move to old business issues, Captain?
Yes, the only old business is a traffic issue.
Old
We
business.
spoke to a resident last time we were here for the Dickinson and Fitch stop signs. So, yeah, that's the only old business.
That's the only old traffic business.
Yes, we gave some,
Okay.
Officer Bud gave some options, besides putting stop signs out there. You know, we ran the statistics, there was only one accident back in 2016, and that, was partially caused by the obstruction of the stop sign due to bushes in that area. Those have since come down and there hasn't been an accident there since. Officer Bud's suggestion was to put signs underneath the stop sign that says, cross traffic does not stop. And I think that just keeps,
Picture of that.
the motorists aware that, those people at the stop sign, they're the only ones at the stop sign, so the opposite side does not stop.
Well, I assume all of us, I drove through every which way I could possibly
Okay.
drive, and it seems pretty clear that it's a two-way stop to anyone who's paying attention. But I think as a step, can't hurt to anybody
Right, add some more
else.
signage.
Add a little more signage and see where we go. That's fine with me. And then building issues, Andy, is there any?
Nothing new to report, Commissioner.
Okay.
See what happens next month when we turn on the AC.
We turn on the AC.
I mean, we needed the AC yesterday, we need the heat today. Marches and April are super fun when it comes to climate control inside the building. Okay. P and Z applications, digging through here. I don't think there's any of these that require a vote, and I don't think anything is problematic for me. Did you guys
Agreed.
think anything?
I don't think there's anything that's gonna impact traffic or safety at any of those two locations that the commission needs to weigh in on.
Okay.
Yeah, I read it as well, no issues. Yep.
I got nothing. Okay, so we don't need to spend time on those, they are fine. Any other old business before is a regular meeting, we can jump around, but I will move on to new business, Harbor Road, of which we have in our packet lots of pictures and,
Yes, so Harbor Road residents have been reaching out for the last couple of weeks regarding parking. Some parking issues on their street they feel they have due to no parking in Great Island and the beach being closed. So I thought somebody from the public was gonna show up for this meeting, but they did send along a bunch of pictures
yep,
that I put in everyone's packet. When it gets a little cumbersome on that street. We have been doing a lot of parking enforcement down there, so even though there's no parking signs, if people are parking illegally, wrong way on the wrong side of the road, or too close to the intersection, too close to a stop sign, blocking the driveway, we can issue tickets for those violations. Those are state violations.
well, my suggestion, looking at these, that clearly, you know, obviously it's only on the weekends, but that is a significant number of cars parking there. But as someone who drives by there and walks by there, my sense is that it might be driven largely because the beach is closed, because I don't feel like I saw these cars last fall or, so again, putting up no parking signs has a whole host of unintended consequences, and where do you put them and where do you stop? And then the other people on Harbor, they just keep going around until they find we've been through it with a number of streets in town. But at the moment, obviously the residents of Harbor Road can come back to our next meeting if I'm missing something, but I would think we wait. I've been told that the beach is opening in mid-May. And since this is only on the weekends, that we hang out for 6 weeks and see if this doesn't kind of solve itself as people go back to the beach in the summer. And then we can, and again, Great Island will ultimately open and have parking, and I know the town's working on other things in the meantime. So we'll wait till the Harbor Road people come back and hope that in 6 weeks, we take the pressure off of this road by reopening the beach. Is that okay?
Yeah, and I'd like to emphasize too that, you know, since this has not only been brought to our attention, but of course we've seen it ourselves, and I think we've all seen, we are down there multiple times a day, checking on the conditions of the parking there. And we are issuing tickets for violations. Even the captain herself gave out a couple of tickets of
Yes.
cars that were parked right in front of no parking signs. So we are monitoring it. We encourage everybody to obey the rules of the road with not only parking, but also pedestrian traffic. We know this time of year, every year, in the Long Neck Point, Pear Tree Point area, we see an increase in our pedestrian traffic, and we encourage people to walk against traffic and bicyclists to go with traffic, and obey all rules of the road and traffic laws.
Yes.
Is there even such a thing as resident-only parking? That's only on a private road, right?
Right.
On private property or a private road, yeah, we don't have any locations like that in
I don't know
town.
how you manage that.
You would not be able to.
Okay.
Okay, well, again, we'll see how that plays out over the next 6 weeks. Swearing in of the new
Oh,
probationary.
we have one more before that.
Oh, we do?
That's kind of
Oh,
related.
Great Island, sorry.
The town
Yes.
has reached out and, you know, in anticipation of the driveway of Great Island being opened, they're gonna allow vehicular traffic to travel in from the road, up to the turnaround, drop people off, and then come out, back onto the, you know, Rings End Road, Pear Tree Point Road area. And they wanted us just to kind of go through our process and take the time and thought to kind of give them some feedback on what we think signage on the driveway should be, speed limit signs, or, you know, drop off only, that type of thing.
Do we have a layout, do we have photos?
I haven't seen any of that yet. I haven't seen any design plans. I haven't been through there since the construction started, so
Okay.
I think that would probably be our next step. is
Yeah,
to
that's
go
the first,
take
because I
those
don't see
measures.
anything in here, so if I don't know if they're plans or, obviously, we weigh in on signage and stuff, but
Yeah.
they should have a
Mhm.
technical drawing of what
We will get that.
sidewalks and all the rest of it. Okay, if we could get that.
Sure.
Then we can take the next step and see what, and then we'll obviously walk out there, or we can't drive out there, so we'll,
Well, I think as your roles as police commissioners, if you're
Mm-hmm.
taking a ride through there, the police department won't give you a hard time. If you need to go out there just to kind of on a site survey.
okay. Well, between now and the next meeting, we will drive out there, but if you could get us
Yep.
designs and drawings and whatever else they have, that would be great. Okay. Swearing in new probationary officers on March 19th.
Yes, as the captain mentioned in our activity report, probationary police officers Scott Cimbalo, Justin Tarsi, and Alexander Tarbox were sworn in by Commissioner Hayes back on the 19th of March, and they've been going through some in-house training, including firearms, administrative type work, and they had their first day this morning, right?
Right.
So I'm sure they're huffing and puffing at the moment. But we're
Sad.
excited to get them trained up. We've had some really good success partnering with Stanford Police Department in their new academy. As the commission knows, the last two candidates that came out of the academy there were top of their class and have done a great job so far since they've been back with us. So we look forward to getting those three guys back.
And
Does
these
this?
three bring us to 53
That
officers.
was
Yeah.
what I was gonna ask.
Captain
Full
Mastriani
staff.
did a good job getting them in there just in time, too.
That was.
Thank you for that.
That was
Wasn't
very.
easy, but
Thank you.
Team
Yeah.
effort
working
there.
around that.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I will add an appreciation for Captain Mastriani and his team as well.
Absolutely.
From the moment the recruiting starts, there's a lot of behind-the-scene work and the background and the polygraphs and the psychological exams and all the interview scheduling. I thank our office administrator, Rick Labella, for that too, because he organizes a lot of those dates and times. And especially when we're hiring three, it's magnified. So, as I mentioned in their swearing in, not only was it historical for these officers' families that they're being hired, but it's the first time the town of Darien Police Department ever had 53 officers fully staffed, so knock on wood.
I was just gonna say, let's get to a
All the
steady
development, we
state.
may need another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Okay, and probationary officer Tarsi is requesting to continue his refereeing of youth lacrosse games.
Probationary Officer Tarsi did provide me a letter, as maybe the commission remembers during his interviews, he's heavily involved in youth lacrosse as a coach and referee, and he'd like to continue to do that outside of his employment. It won't interfere with his employment, and it's not a paid situation, so that's not something the commission needs to vote on. Which just more that we're advising that we're going to allow him to continue
Yeah, no
to
issues.
act in that
Okay.
capacity, yeah.
Is he doing that up in Danbury, or?
I believe so, yeah.
Danbury? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's a regular meeting. If anyone has anything else they want to throw on there. If not, we will focus on our next meeting.
Okay.
I don't think I'm here on the 16th, but that's only 2 weeks away.
I'm here.
Anyone?
That is school spring break for
Oh,
Darien
yeah.
High School.
The 16th is?
Yep.
That whole week is the break? So, God, it's late. But I guess when you're going to school till the end of June, maybe it's not so late.
Actually, and that's a day that the three of us might be out of town at a expo up in Southington.
Do I
We don't
hear
have
that?
anything pressing, do we, chief?
The only other items we'd be revisiting again is
All the stuff that was on
the two things that we
here.
just spoke about, the traffic-related matters. But it sounds like we're gonna have to do some legwork on that outside of the meetings anyway, so.
23rd, 30th, anybody?
Denver, the 20th, but can certainly do the 30th necessary.
Oh, I can't do the 30th.
I'm good on either of those.
Right.
I think I come back Wednesday, 30th, I could swing the 30th. I'm sorry, the 23rd. I could do 23rd, 30th, I think is fine.
I'm out the 30th, I can do the 23rd.
Sounds like that's the best
So
one.
let's pick the 23rd, sorry.
23rd, Rick?
You win or lose. Okay, with that, we are adjourned.